welcome to It's Happening in Grand Prairie, and we're just so delighted you're with us on this May the 20th taping. And in just a few minutes, we're going to bring you one of the most important guests we've ever had on our show. But in the meantime, we have three little wonderful service announcements to make. We'd like to thank very much our television class from South Grand Prairie High School that's helping us with the show today. Mr. Patrick Price, Mr. Tim Allen, Mr. Louis Tovar, Jill Tyner, and Laura Shaletti. And, of course, we have to thank our wonderful professionals here at Story Cable TV, Mr. Rob Wellman and Mr. Don Roper. They're always very wonderful to help us with the show. And now, for the Chamber of Commerce, day after tomorrow, which is on a Wednesday, is the Brown Bag Seminar. The Chamber of Commerce has been providing some very excellent, very quick seminars for us. This next one will be on the Wednesday from 12 noon until 1:15 p.m. at the First United Methodist Church. That's in downtown Grand Prairie at 122 North Center, and it's going to be about stress. If you have stress or you want to get rid of stress, or if you just want to study about stress, please go and hear Jill, S-C-H-L-I-P, and she's going to be very marvelous and tell us all about these good things in managing it and controlling it. And I know you'll want to go see this. Brown Bag Seminar of the Chamber of Commerce. And congratulations to David Hooper, Officer of the Month, as selected by the Grand Prairie Crime Commission and as announced by Mr. Bill Crabtree. We salute Mr. Hooper, Officer Hooper, as the Officer of the Month, and he's very, very special to many of us in many different ways. And we just must again recognize the third grade GEM, and that's GEM class, of Mr. Tews, and that's at Bowie School. And we received all of this wonderful fan mail from them for having done a historical presentation to them. And we have some more names to let you know from that class that watch It's Happening in Grand Prairie. Mr. Chan Sleuven, Jenny Carr, Jenny Scruggs, Anthony Albalado, Alex Luna, Laureen Henderson, and Heather Duncan. We're going to bring you the rest of those names next week, and salute to that wonderful class. And now to our special guest. Ann Gresham, as the former mayor of Grand Prairie, Texas, the first woman to serve in that particular office, and the first woman to serve on the council for a long tenure, we welcome you to It's Happening.
Thank you, Ruthie. It's good to be here.
Wonderful. But you're not wearing that hat as a past politician. You are wearing a hat that relates to industry, Industrial Allies Day, and you have a wonderful title as the chairman of the Grand Prairie Industrial Development Authority, and that sounds very formal.
Oh, and it is a wonderful commission. It's probably the best group that I have ever served with in my life. They're all professional people, local people. We have a diverse group. There are 7 of us on the board, and they are just a marvelous group of men to serve with. I'm the only woman, so I have a ball with them.
Wonderful. Would you look out into your camera
Oh,
then
I'm sorry.
and let all of our people in video land know what the Industrial Development Authority is designed to accomplish and what coal of fire you have going on today out at Riverside. Would you do that?
Okay, just briefly, the Industrial Development Authority is a state-chartered authority. The federal government allows, through the city mechanism of bond sales, anybody who qualifies as an industrial developer within certain parameters of the city to create jobs, this sort of thing, to come through our authority and for a fee to request the city council's permission to sell bonds, revenue bonds, if you will, which they are solely responsible for paying. In the event of any default on the bond, the city has absolutely no responsibility or liability for the payment of those bonds. We have, in the last few years, been very fortunate to have had several good companies come in and take advantage of this program. And since they do pay the fee, and the state agency says that that money cannot be used for any purpose other than the promotion of industrial development within the city. So the Industrial Development Authority, I think in using great wisdom, decided that what we needed to do was to let people know that Grand Prairie is here, that we have land to be developed, and we want the top-notch developers to come in and do that. So today we're having Industrial Allies Appreciation Day. We have right now, at what time? 2:15. Hopefully the rain will hold off a while longer. 74 golfers on Riverside Club Golf Course. We'll have another 130 who have accepted to come for dinner tonight, and we're going to show they've been on tours of the city, to Joe Pool Lake, to the new Trammell Crow development off of Corn Valley Road, and they're all impressed, and it's a great day. We really sweated out the rain, but it looks like it may hold until they get off.
Wonderful. And how do you select the people that are invited to this? Are they all people here in the city, or do you go to developers and others outside of the city?
We have gone to every major developer, broker, just in industrial realtors, these sort of people in the whole North Texas area. We have the only local people who've been invited are those few actual industrial development people, the Chamber of Commerce Executive Board, my Industrial Development Authority, the Board of Development, which is another long-range planning committee that has been appointed by the City Council. Other than that, we invited the top 20 employers in Grand Prairie to sort of give them a thanks for being here and continuing to be a part of the city and our major taxpayers as far as that field is concerned.
And this is like all-day singing and dinner on the ground at Riverside.
At 10 o'clock this morning, they started coming in. If you can believe, golfers will play golf if they're up to their knees in water, apparently, because after all the big rainstorm at 2 o'clock this morning, for this many golfers to come in, and they came at 10 o'clock, they started going out on tours, and the first group teed off to play golf at 10 minutes to 12. And we've had lunch in the big tent at the Riverside Club. At 5 o'clock this afternoon, it'll all be moved up to Building 19, it's called, which is the 8-story building that is completed out there, and that's where we'll have dinner for them all tonight, with a lot of presentations to be made with sector plans that have been approved or in the process of being approved, with some mail-away handout things that we've have printed. So they'll leave here today knowing they've been to Grand Prairie. And what better time to have this after that horrible, horrible research report was released that was 5 years old anyway.
Yes.
So we're showing the people that that thing wasn't worth the paper it was written on. It might have been 5 or 6 years ago, but today we've turned the corner and we're on our way.
Now, you've mentioned Riverside 3 times.
Oh.
You have mentioned the nice building that's there. You haven't told us where Riverside is located. Is that part of Grand Prairie?
Oh, you bet.
Wonderful.
You bet. It's on the west side of 360. From one end of 360, well, actually from about Highway 183 all the way down to Interstate 30, there's Arlington and Grand Prairie kind of play leapfrog, and for a mile or two it's Grand Prairie, and then it becomes Arlington, then Grand Prairie. But this particular segment of that is in the city limits of Grand Prairie. After it crosses over the river, then it is in the city of Arlington. These the Sibley Wolf people who have bought all this property have like 5,000 or 6,000 or so acres they're going to develop, but the great preponderance will be in Arlington. But all the area there of the real commercial and industrial property they'll develop is in Grand Prairie. And they have assured me that they were going to be very aggressive at getting the Grand Prairie side developed. That's the front door to the balance of their development that goes clear to 157 in Arlington.
That's
so they have a very, very ambitious program. The plans that they have in the next 10 years for what they're going to do with that property is just mind-boggling. It's going to be gorgeous.
And you think that's going to bring those additional tax dollars to Grand Prairie, Texas?
No two ways about it. No two ways about it. And they're all very excited about the what's happening in the Shady Grove industrial sector plan that has been approved, in the Joe Pool Lake area that's been approved. They're impressed with what Trammell Crow has already committed to do out in that area of Grand Prairie. And we know that after today is over, there's going to be a message going out to the world what Grand Prairie is doing.
Wonderful. Ann Gresham, I'm so delighted that you were on the show and brought a real spark back to Grand Prairie, and the fact that we are going to go, we're going to go for it, as they say in South Grand Prairie High and Grand Prairie High for the graduates. With all of this before us and the developers, you're patting them on the back and encourage them along. We want to thank you for being on the show.
Ruthie, I can't thank you enough for allowing us to be here and to tell the people about this. And I have not had an opportunity to say If we're only going to have one woman on the council, I'm glad it's you. Congratulations.
Thank you,
And I
Ann Grace.
appreciate you allowing us to come on.
Thank you, and we'll be right back.
Grand Prairie Community Theatre presents Charlie's Aunt, the finest in English comedy, May 25th at 8 p.m., May 26th at 2 p.m., May 30th, 31st, and June 1st at 8 p.m., and June 2nd at 2 p.m. at Turnpike Church of Christ, 1102 Northwest 7th Street, Grand Prairie. For ticket information and senior discount information, please notify Deborah Royalty at 660-5107 or Susan Sisney at 264-9591. And I'll see you in the front row.
And welcome back to the set. We're just so delighted we have some other guests for us today. But before we do, we wanted you to know that June the 2nd has been set aside as a special tribute to the Reverend Bob and Catherine Young, who are leaving Grand Prairie, Texas. There'll be a reception for them that afternoon at 2 o'clock until 4 o'clock p.m. at the Grand Prairie Community Center. Mark June the 2nd. If Bob and Catherine Young are your special friend, they've been a special friend to the community of Grand Prairie, and we knew you would want that on your calendar. Also, that very same afternoon, the Business and Professional Women's Club of Grand Prairie is hosting the A Awards for all students that have made straight A's in their tenures in school. That's going to be at Jackson Middle School at 1:30 p.m. Mark those two things on your calendar, and we'll be glad to have you. Also, the hotline for Grand Prairie, the Action Center, if you want to know about things going on in the city, 660-9097. And now, for a trio from Trail Fest. The Trail Fest trio, and one already has a blue eye. We've only just begun this interview, and already he's turning blue.
Absolutely.
We're just so glad to have you with us, Roger Pierce.
Thank you.
Roger, as the chairman of the illustrious Park Board, what on earth are you doing to get yourself in such a mess that you already have a blue eye, and you have on a very special shirt that says Trailwood Neighborhood Association? What's going on, Roger?
Well, first off, I was shanghaied.
You were shanghaied, but these two lovely ladies.
Absolutely.
All right.
I have all this on because we're trying to announce to everyone that this is the time for Trail Fest. And it's June the 1st. It will be at the location of Matthew and Polo Roads in the Polo Village Shopping Center. And we are going to have an arts and crafts fair, a 10K run, a lot of other activities, games, events, a tug of war against the City Council.
Oh dear.
With Trailwood Neighborhood Association members on the good side. And we'll have the children of Trailwood against the school board, faculty, and staff.
I see.
So we're really looking forward to it, and they're trying to make me up here, I think, as a clown, because we are going to have some clowns out there.
Oh, I see. All right, now, for those that are new to Grand Prairie, Texas, what in the world is Trail Fest, and where is Trailwood?
Okay.
All right.
Trail Fest was started 3 years ago as a means of raising money for the Trailwood Neighborhood Association, a general fund, of which part of it goes to charities. We give it to the Grand Prairie United Charities. We use it for beautification around the neighborhood, and we use it to fund our special events through the year, like the Easter egg hunt, for example, for the children at Easter. And we are located out at Beltline, and Polo Road is the main entrance. But this year we're going to have a little traffic problem. It looks like you're going to have to come in on Beltline Road and take the south access road along I-20 to Matthew Road and follow it into the development going south.
Now, you are even out past the Florence Hill area?
We are.
You are even south of Florence Hill, but you aren't to the lake.
We are not quite to the lake.
I see.
But the only thing that's south of us at the present time, other than the dam, is the Matthew Road Trailer Park.
I see. And since Trailwood is very special, and since you've given Polo Road, and I believe Matthew Road is one of the roads that, and Beltline Road, can we come out maybe Carrier Parkway and get to you, or is that still under construction?
You can come out Carrier Parkway to Fish Creek, along Fish Creek, to Beltline, back up to the south access along I-20 and follow it to Matthew. But you cannot go to Carrier to Polo yet.
All right.
That's under construction.
You know the way to go to Trailwood. You know that they're going to have Trail Fest. Now give us the magic dates. Would you do that, Gail Cates?
Yes, we will be holding Trail Fest Saturday, June 1st. We'll be starting at 9 o'clock in the morning, and the booths will stay open until 4. However, our 10K run will begin at 8:30, as well as the 2-mile fun run. So there will be people there a little bit before 9. We're going to have donuts and coffee for our first arrivals, and then about 10 o'clock we're going to shut down the donuts and start up with hot dogs and nachos and just all kinds of selective munchies. So that's
Wonderful.
basically
Now, Mr. Pierce, as the chairman of this, how much does it cost for me to drive into Trailwood and get into this bash?
Oh, there's no charge at all to get in.
Right.
In fact, the arts and crafts, if you were to just go through it and not buy anything, you could end up not spending any money at all. Of course, that's not our desire.
Oh, and that would make one of our guests very, very sad,
It would
wouldn't it?
be very sad for Joan.
Wonderful. Joan Gilbert, welcome. As the chairman of the Arts and Crafts Fair, we would like for you to tell us, or maybe show and tell, some of the wonderful things that are going to be happening at Trail Fest under your direction as that chairman. Would you do that?
Yes, the things that I have displayed here are a few things that I'll have on display for sale at Trail Fest. These, along with, so far as of last Saturday's mail, we've heard from approximately 17 people so far as craft exhibitors. And I have made a little list here, if I might read it.
Yes, that would be fine.
Of what they can expect to find. We have baby items, ceramics, cookbooks to be sold. All of these items are to be sold. County cross-stitch, crocheted items, dolls, educational toys, everything for left-handers, which is really unusual.
That sounds good.
Flower arrangements, hanging baskets of live flowers, hats, hoops, jewelry, fashionable jewelry. Kitchen items, oil paintings, picture frames, pillows, potpourri, soft baskets, wooden objects, and we're hoping to hear from a lot more people. We have, for the record, about 10 covered spaces left. The Polo Village Shopping Center has been so good to allow us to hold our craft trail there, and our covered spaces will be underneath the overhang of the sidewalk. The open spaces will be the adjacent parking spaces, actually, and section that's been specified in the center of the area. Now, for those, if you would like for me to give my number, I can give my telephone number.
Would you do that?
Those who might be listening and not have a registration form or access to one, my name is Joan Gilbert, and you might want to give me a call at 641-8088. That's 641-8088 if you're interested in having me send you a registration form.
All right, now if I want to bring my wares out to your fair, to the Trail Fest, and I don't live in Trail Fest, would I be allowed to do this? And if so, do I pay a fee, or what is the procedure?
Yes, the covered spaces are $10 for approximately 9 across by 8 deep. The open spaces are $7.50. The size is approximately 8 across and 16 deep, actual parking spaces. Now, it's first come, first serve, actually. As soon as I receive the money and so forth, and the registration slip, then it's all recorded. We will be asking people to come in between 7 and 8. They will bring their own tables and their own setups, and they can drop off their goods in the nearby area, and then come back and set up until 8:45. We'll give a 15-minute allowance there before the fair actually starts.
All right, now, tell me this, Joan. In the event that I wanted to display my wares and I paid you a fee, do I make a contribution to Trail Fest, or is that all I have to pay?
No, that is it. That is it. We will have some civic organizations that will be setting up tables. It won't be selling anything, but they will be giving community information, and we're so happy that they're going to join us. And there won't be any charge, but the entrance time applies to them as well, because we want to try to keep as much confusion out of the area as possible.
Well, I need to ask this. Now, Gail, I know you're very busy making Mr. Pierce into a clown, which he already was, but now we're
making it official.
Making it official. Would you tell me, well, we've mentioned the arts and crafts. How about food and drink and all of this good stuff?
Well, we have one of our members who was very active around town. His name's Ted Arrington. Ted is our food and beverage director. He has done a lot of work as far as getting the best price for the best food, and we are going to have the hot dogs and the nachos. We'll have a variety of soft drinks, and these will be paid for with tickets as well as the games, so that the kids can buy what they want. Our prices are pretty reasonable, and we're going to have pretty high quality food, we think.
Wonderful. All right, Mr. Pierce, would you tell us this? Are you going to have any games where the kids compete?
Oh yes, we're going to have.
Tell us about that.
Oh, we're going to have several. We're going to have a dolly races that can be done in relay. It'll be a team type sport where two children, one riding and one pushing, go against a clock, and at the end of the day, the team with the best time will receive a prize. We will also have three-legged races. We will have the tug of wars, of course, and several others that we're not going to go into too much. I think we're even going to have a tobacco spitting contest. So it'll need to be washed down later, I'm afraid.
I'm afraid that will. Mr. Pierce, I'd also like to ask you this, since you're the chairman. What kind of response are you getting from your Trailwood group, the ones that are working in this Trail Fest, and also what kind of weather are you predicting for us?
Mm-hmm. Oh, we're predicting beautiful weather. We better. We are getting excellent response out of the neighborhood. As a matter of fact, I think all told, we're looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 to 50 workers that day.
Good.
So we are getting very good response.
That's wonderful. And Joan, from your point of view on the arts and crafts, are most of your people that are coming in to get the booths, are they from outside of Trail Fest, or are they from Trailwood, or are they from your area?
We are very fortunate to have, right as of now, about 12 exhibitors that are from right here in Grand Prairie, although we welcome the Metroplex. I was very fortunate to be able to get the mailing list from the Plaza Fair that unfortunately was rained out. But Kathy Anderson was wonderful from the Parks Commission to give me that. So that was a big start for us. And then there's been response, word of mouth, and so forth. But most of the crafts people are right here so far from Grand Prairie, and we're real happy about that.
All right, now, in the event that we have all of this beautiful weather, and it's pretty warm into June, do we have a tent or something so that those with small children can be out from the strong sunlight?
Well, we have two reserved areas that Roger and I have discussed about, that we're holding for a rest area that will be out of the sun on either side of the village.
Of course, I know that some of the mothers or some of the parents will also want to ask this: are we having restroom facilities in that area?
This is something that we've discussed as I think I should leave that up to Roger, really. There are areas around businesses close by for emergency use.
Mm-hmm. This is always very important to someone that's going to come and spend the day. Roger, would you like to speak to that?
Well, we will have restroom facilities available. We do not at the present time have porta pots and that type of thing. We are working with the merchants and the medical center across the road.
I see. Wonderful. All right, and Roger, I'll almost have to ask you this question. In the past, how much money have you all made on your Trail Fest, since this is going to be the third one?
This will be the third.
This will be the third one. In the past, can you give us kind of a track record of how much you've made and what you're anticipating this time?
I think we've made in the area of about $600 a year off of Trail Fest. This year, with the addition of the arts and crafts, we're looking to double that.
Oh, that just sounds like a wonderful deal. All right, now we're going to have to go to Gail. Gail, we want you to look out into your camera and really give them a pitch. to come to Trail Fest, and then we're going to give each one of them about a half minute each to come and follow up and give their point of view on this.
Well, we're doing Trail Fest as a neighborhood association, but we're doing it for Grand Prairie and we're doing it for the entire Metroplex. This is a good old-fashioned neighborhood carnival that you just don't see very many of anymore. And we're expanding and we're growing and we're doing good things, and we'd like to invite everybody.
Wonderful. All right, Roger, you're next.
All right.
Give a hard sell.
It's very simple. We started this off 3 years ago as a neighborhood carnival. Now we're expanding it. We too, as Ann Gresham said earlier in the program, are very concerned about the little report that came out that's 5 years old. We don't think that really is a true picture of Grand Prairie. So we think that Trail Fest is a step in the right direction. We'll show the people what Grand Prairie is all about, and that's people.
Wonderful. All right, Joan, tell them to bring money and come to your arts and crafts.
Yes, we'll have wonderful people there. We already have, as I mentioned, quite a nice selection of different types of arts and crafts. And as you know, crafts are our heritage, and we would like to not only welcome you to come down and take a look and buy some of these things, but also for the crafts people to have wonderful exposure.
Wonderful. I'd like to thank all three of you all for taking the time on a Monday afternoon to come in and tape this show, and for the illustrious one, Mr. Pierce, to allow himself to be made as a clown. And we know that he's going to have a great fun on that day, and if you turn out to be a clown on Trail Fest Day, we want to come and see that, and hopefully we want to participate with this tug of war. And I believe there's one other thing as we go off the show. I'd like for you to pick this one up, because that is one of the loveliest, and we just must come to the arts and crafts portion of Trail Fest and help this neighborhood as they do their thing, to be able to raise funds to make things more beautiful in Trailwood and to improve the quality of life. And as Mr. Pierce has said, people working together make things happen in Grand Prairie. And I want to thank you all again for being on the show.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Wonderful. And this is Ruthie Jackson reminding you it's happening in Grand
Prairie.